Hey y'all. Let me fix this. Okay. Hey y'all. So today I'm going to be doing another full moon Florida water. Hey Robin. So today I'm going to be doing another full moon Florida water. Today's energy is in Gemini. If you know a Gemini, their energy is awesome. They have really great conversation. They're like the sign of communication because they're ruled by the planet Mercury. Geminis are also very kind, very intellectual. If you ask them a question, they think about it very, very deep, and they give you like a good long answer about the meaning behind it. Let's see what else. And they're very lively, very energetic. But the dark side of a Gemini is that they're pretty indecisive. They're impulsive and prone to anxiety. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because for this full moon, since it is the last full moon of the year, you can either go one of two ways with the energy. You can either be extremely intellectual, communicative, and lively as you go into the new year, or you could have those shadow side of a Gemini, which is indecision, anxiety, and impulsive when making decisions. Something else that's been happening today is Mercury is finally out of retrograde today. And I'm not sure if you guys know this. I've heard it a lot. Like, you see it all over Instagram and stuff like that. Mercury's in retrograde. And basically what that means is the planet Mercury doesn't look like it's moving anymore from our point of view on Earth. It looks like it stands still. Right. Mercury is finally out of retrograde. So how does that affect you spiritually? Usually it's a lack of communication. Let's see. The decisions that you have to make, they tend to be difficult to make. You're prone to indecision, which is not very good sometimes. It makes you sit down and think about what it is you need to do to move forward. So it's a lot about introspection and understanding what you need to move forward rather than just like impulsively moving and flying by. So Mercury in retrograde is actually a pretty good thing because it actually makes you sit, think, and understand your purpose as you move forward rather than just moving through life. It's a time to revisit past thoughts, ideas, and relationships to gain a deeper understanding and potentially heal old wounds. It's a time to look forward and reevaluate rather than actively moving forward. So it's a good thing that Mercury retrograde just ended, because if you've been experiencing difficulties with your job, difficulties with your family, like you've been getting a lot of fights with your family members because they're not understanding you, you're not understanding them. I was experiencing that a lot with like personal relationships. It could not be good for Virgos, but it just depends on like how intuitive the Virgo is with their communication. So if you are a type of Virgo who takes things personally, Mercury in retrograde is going to be a difficult time for you. But if you're the type of Virgo that just kind of like lets things slide off your back and you're like, you know what, people sometimes make mistakes, it's okay, it may be a good time for you, because then you'll sit down, understand what you need to do for their energy not to affect you. But Virgos are naturally grounding. They're actually earth signs. So, I mean, I don't know. It just depends on what kind of Virgo you are and what life experiences that you've had. Technically, Mercury in retrograde isn't good for anybody because it makes us sit down and look at our shadow selves. It makes us reevaluate who we are as people. So it's tough for anybody. But if you look at it as a way to grow, then it's actually a good thing. So as always in this, and for our full moon Florida waters, I pick a number from the Chromancy tradition, numerology, and they're always in odd numbers. This time I chose a number 3 rather than the number like 7 or 9 like I usually do. And that's because I've been feeling like this Gemini energy, this like going into the new moon, the new year, is very like chill. Like, it's a time for us to just understand and appreciate everything we went through this year. So I don't think we need too many herbs in this one. I think we just need to keep it with the basics, be appreciative, be grateful that we made it through another year, and just live this day as any other day, you know? So the number 3 in the Chromancy tradition is just for general wellness. So that's why I chose the number 3. It's just for general hygiene, general practices, things that you do every day to keep your spirits up, just general wellness overall. So I chose 3 herbs, and the herbs that I chose were orange pills, mint, and cinnamon. So yeah, I will be getting my herbs, putting them in here, and then putting them, mixing them with some alcohol, sitting them outside for 3 nights, because the full moon energy lasts 3 nights. It can last up to 6 nights for real, like 3 nights before the full moon and 3 nights after the full moon, so 7 days. But I start mine on the full moon, so I'll just leave it there for 3 days so it can soak up the energy of the full moon in Gemini. I didn't really talk about what this full moon actually represents. So this is also called the cold moon, and the cold moon's energy is in alignment with Gemini, ruled by Mercury. Mercury is the planet of communication. It encourages logical and thoughtful approach to ending the year. During this time, you may feel inspired to process your experiences and prepare for your year ahead, especially with Mercury going direct on the same day. So it's a pretty big deal when people are talking about how Mercury's going out of retrograde the same time we're having a full moon in Gemini. So Mercury going out of retrograde means that your communication is going to be up. The full moon energy is in Gemini, which means it's all about communication. So at this time, it's like important for you to voice how you feel. No matter who it is, tell them how you feel, communicate effectively, because you will get what you want. Let's see. So it's also about being thoughtful. I mentioned with Mercury in retrograde, sometimes we can be prone to indecision. So at this time, it's really good to manifest anything that you want for the next year ahead. Because like as you manifest your desires and you communicate them effectively, not only with other people, but also with yourself, it's more prone to happen because you believe in it. And that energy is like pushing you forward. Like there's no more Mercury in retrograde. This full moon is here to help you. Anything that you want, write it down, speak it out, sell it to as many people as possible, because you're prone to get it. Just believe in yourself. So yeah, that's the energy of this full moon, and that's why Mercury going out of retrograde on the same day is really, really big for people who are super spiritual. So here's my jar, and I'm gonna start adding the mint. I chose mint because mint is good for attracting positivity. As I just mentioned, we want all the positive vibes we can get as this year ends. We want everything that we put into this year to come out and flourish. So it's really good for attracting positivity. It's good for healing. If you went through anything emotional this year, take that time to breathe and heal from it, because next year is going to get better because of everything that you put into this year. Mental clarity. As I mentioned, this whole full moon in Gemini is about mental clarity, being decisive with your decisions, boosting the mood, communication, because I keep talking about communication, especially with loved ones. So if you have somebody that's really, really close to, but y'all have been beefing because of miscommunication, you feel like they're not understanding you, mint is a really good herb, so I'm putting it in our Florida water so that we can enhance that ability to communicate with the people that we love. And then also financial protection. We need to keep our coins. We need to protect our finances, because with this new administration coming along, anything can happen. So I'm putting a bunch of mint in there for all of that. Positivity, financial protection, healing, mental clarity, communication, especially because you can't get what you want if you don't ask for it. Mental clarity, I think I already said that, but yeah, so we'll put a lot of that in here. So when you use this full moon in Florida water in Gemini, if you decide to, you buy it from me, or you make your own. I would definitely spray this on me as I go outside, especially if I have like a big presentation. I would spray this all over my chest area, my throat area, like all this area, because it'll be really good for communication. You'll effectively be able to you'll be confident in communicating what you want. I'm not saying it's going to actually help, but you'll be confident enough to know what you want and say it. So I put like this much mint in there. And I don't ever do measurements. If this is your first time watching this, hello, my name is Kiera. I'm on the Plexus Herbs team, and I'm making a full moon Florida water. When I do these, I don't actually measure. I kind of just go until my ancestors say stop. So the next thing I'm going to do is put cinnamon. I put cinnamon in all my Florida waters because it's really good for protection, cleansing. In the Bible, they said it was good for anointing. I don't know, but it also smells really good. It makes all my Florida water smell really good. And I use it mainly for its protection efforts, because as we go into the new year, we want to be protected. We're already protected by, our ancestors and God and everything. But yeah, this is just extra layer of protection for real. And I always put a little bit of cinnamon. It smells really good already, so you don't really have to add too much. So put that much cinnamon. And the last thing I'm going to add is orange peels. Oranges are a sweet herb. And like, if you're a spiritual herbalist like I am, anytime you do anything cleansing, anything healing, you want to add something sweet, a layer of sweetness over top of it, because we want to invite ease into our life. We don't want to struggle no more. We're tired of struggling. So something sweet. Orange peels also are good with obsessive thinking. So it helps with dealing with obsessive thinking. I mentioned that the dark side to Geminis is that they are prone to anxiety and obsessive thinking. So adding this to our Florida water will be really, really good to help remove that obsessive thinking. It's also good for boosting positive energy, soothing your own energy if you are prone to anxiety, enhancing your intuition. As we go into this new year, we want to be able to be intuitive about the people that we talk to, the opportunities that we take, because not every opportunity is a good opportunity. Not every opportunity is going to bring us closer to our higher selves and our purpose. So we want to be extremely thoughtful about what opportunities we take. We don't just take opportunities because they're on the table. We take them because they're good for us and they're going to help us become our higher selves. It's also good for enhancing intuition and protection. So we have 2 things in there for protection, 1 thing in here for financial protection. And that's pretty much the whole energy of the full moon in Gemini. So adding this in there. I think I'm going to add a lot of this too. Orange peels. And they smell really good too. So I'm interested to see how this one smells. I need to show y'all the last one I made. I just strained it this morning. And it's super, super red. So the last full moon was in Taurus. And that one was about grounding. So in order to be able to communicate, you need to be grounded in who you are. So there's layers to this. I think the one before that was in like Aries. Aries are hotheads, but Aries get what they want. They're selfish for a good, they're good selfish, not bad selfish. They take what they want, but they don't take anything from other people. So Aries are good. So we had that other energy. We take everything that we need, and then we ground ourselves, and then we communicate what it is we actually want. So it's like every full moon gives you a different side of yourself that you need in order to thrive. And you can either take that energy or you can not take that energy. It's up to you. Either way, you'll be fine. I like to take the energy, utilize it. So so this smells a lot like oranges. I want to smell more mint. So let me shake it up first to see. Ooh, it smells like mint now. Okay, I think I'm going to add more orange peels. I love to see the last one. Yeah, I'll show you guys the last one. I'll bring it out. I just put it in spray bottles. Actually, I don't have them. I'll post a picture of it on our Instagram after this live. Everybody who joined, I'm pretty much done, but I'll just do a short recap. The full moon in Gemini is tonight. Mercury in retrograde just ended tonight. And that just means that you're going to be in these last, I think the Mercury retrograde was from November 25th, and it just ended December 15th. So from November 25th, if you had any trouble with communication, if you had any trouble with anxiety, indecision, anything like that, that's because Mercury was in retrograde. But now that Mercury is out of retrograde, you're going to be more prone to being able to communicate, being more decisive, feeling protected in your energy, because the full moon in Gemini is all about communication. It's all about intuition. It's all about owning who you are and asking for what you want and getting it. So it's all about manifesting that stuff through communication, manifesting everything that you want and need through communication. If you don't if you're not confident in that part of yourself, if you're not confident in that communication aspect of what the full moon in Gemini can bring you, there is a dark side to Gemini. It is indecision, impulsiveness, and prone to anxiety. And that's what that energy and the Mercury in retrograde energy was kind of bringing. So hopefully you got all of that out from November 25th through December 15th. So now you can just bask in that full moon in Gemini energy of being able to communicate, being logical and thoughtful about your next steps as you go into the new year, being decisive in what you want, and understanding that you deserve everything that you actually want. You deserve that. You can actually get that if you just speak to who you are as a person, speak as your higher self. So yeah, that was what you missed if you just joined. And I put 3 herbs in my full moon: Florida water, mint, orange peels, and cinnamon. The mint is to attract positivity, enhance communication, enhance mental clarity, and financial protection. The cinnamon is for cleansing, anointing, and is really good as a perfume. I use it more so for protection. The orange peels are dealing with obsessive thinking, boosting positive energy, soothing your own energy, and enhancing intuition and protection. So everything in here is good for protection, enhancing your intuition, communicating, and getting your money. Hey, Andre. Oh, hey, chicken. Hey, everybody. But yeah, so now that all of our energy, all of the stuff that we need is in our full moon and Florida water glass, I'm gonna add the alcohol, and then I'm gonna sit it outside underneath the full moon for 3 nights. Hey, Karen. That's my mom, y'all. So I just pour it in here. And I really hope you guys make your own someday, because it's so powerful when you make it yourself. These herbs I've made for myself because I've been having trouble with communicating, and I'm a Cancer, so I'm extremely sensitive. So I take things to heart when people say things. So there's been a lot of miscommunication in my life. These last few weeks when Mercury's been in retrograde. And I always like to solidify my financial protection. So I hope you guys make your own full moon Florida water someday. If you ever want to just talk about what herbs you should put in yours based off of what your life is going through, what you're going through, or what the full moon is going to bring, just let me know. The next one is going to be in Cancer, I believe. I'm a Cancer, so it's going to be lit. It's going to be so cool. It's probably going to bring a lot of emotional healing and emotional intuition, which is really big. Maybe even grief, I don't know, but I have to look it up. But the next one should be in Cancer, so our alcohol's in there, if you guys can see it. And then I always shake it for 33 times because 33 is a really good number. And the reason, I also forgot to tell you guys, if you just joined, the reason that I use 3 herbs is because in the Chromanti tradition, 3 is for general wellness. And I feel like this full moon is about just kind of keeping with the pace of everything that this whole month has been bringing. So it's just kind of like a general upkeep, reminding yourself who you are. Not necessarily changing or healing that much, but more so remembering that you are an amazing person. You are a badass. You are the SHIT. That's what this is about, and asking for what you want. So yeah, I shook it 33 times. You can kind of see some of the herbs have already absorbed it. So I add a little bit more alcohol to it. Yeah. Because the herbs absorb a lot of the alcohol when you do this. But usually it smells really, really good after this too. It smells more so like cinnamon. But I usually put cinnamon and cloves in there. So I'm curious to see if this one will smell like mint or orange peels. And even the smells to the herbs bring you different feelings too. The orange peels, as I mentioned, are really good for boosting your mood. Same like chamomile. If you smell chamomile, like an oil, like an essential oil, it'll really help with your mood, just like lavender helps with anxiety. Yeah, but thank you guys for watching. I'm about to turn this off and put this outside for 3 nights. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. Happy full moon, you guys. And remember that you need to communicate for this full moon. These next 30 days are all about you communicating what you want. If anybody asks you what you want, tell them straight up. Don't even mince words, because you will get what you need. All right, bye guys.